Podcast ini dibawakan khas untuk anda oleh SPS Realtors.
Untuk khidmat jual beli rumah, sila hubungi mereka di 86888676. Selamat datang ke podcast Biar Betul. Welcome to Biar Betul Podcast. This is Hide Banger.
This is Hyder.
This is Charge.
This is how we all remember. Welcome back to another episode, exciting and burning episode of Biar Betul Podcast.
Burning?
Yeah, because the court is always burning. You don't know?
I don't know.
Yeah, because I normally go to, every day I go to court.
Oh.
And it's burning because it's direct sunlight. Basketball court lah. Yalah, also court lah.
Okay, yeah,
give me
okay.
chance lah.
Give you.
Okay, why we also court here, court there, video court?
Oh.
Because we are now with the court worker. A person who is actually work related in court.
Okay.
She's not a criminal.
She's not, huh?
Yes, but
You
she's
possibly. You might get chance for this. This introduction cannot make it.
She's a lawyer.
Ah.
And let us welcome again for the second night, Mumtaj.
Welcome back, Mumtaj. Thank you for not running away.
Before anything, I have a question.
Oi.
A deep question.
Deep.
For our special guest, Mumtaj. How many times? Jangan tahu dulu. How many times do you think Amitabh Bachchan in his acting life have actually stepped on the podium in a court?
I don't know.
I don't know. Ramlakan, you watch Ramlakan?
No.
But you watch Bollywood or?
Yeah, sometimes.
So you watch the court scene?
Yeah.
Nahi. Hey, betul. Yeah, at the end of the day, okay, the 90% of the movie, the court is being injustice.
Yeah.
The hero, fail, jail, hero jail, you know, salah case semua, Sunny Deol. Berapa kali sama. There's a lot of times Sunny Deol is in jail.
Yeah.
And then the 10% part, the last part, it's okay, justice is served.
Yes.
The villain will be in jail.
Yes.
Right. What do you think about the Bollywood court case?
Overly dramatic.
Okay.
Not
Overly
just
dramatic.
Bollywood. I mean, I speak Tamil, so even the Tamil ones are over exaggerated. But it's quite interesting, some of the court shows.
Yeah.
Since he is on that topic, let's ask lah, which is your favorite courtroom scene in a movie?
Or you're more into
I only have the real life scene every day.
books, like law stories?
No. I like to watch. I mean, I watched this series on Netflix, How to Get Away with Murder. So that was
Viola
a really
Davis.
good show.
Yep.
Yeah. After that, no, I only watch like whatever my kids play or whatever my husband plays. Yeah. So whatever is there, that's what I watch.
Okay.
And nothing specific.
It's a good show. You should watch.
Okay.
I never finished the last season.
On his note also,
What show? How to Get Away with Murder.
Oh.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. Very important. Very apt for you.
very apt. on what he said about the movie, the courtroom, nahi, all that kind of stuff. So, what are the most common misconceptions about lawyer in general or criminal lawyer in your case that you know see that you usually see, or what that you usually hear what people think about what lawyers are all about actually? The misconceptions.
Yeah, maybe like, do you receive any like negative comments from your families or family members or friends about like, hey, being a lawyer is actually like this, you know, it's not an advisable job for you to do, you know, something like that?
Is that a misconception?
No, my family don't discourage me that way. So I do go to like prison visit and all. So I'll just say it in simple tone to my mother. So I'll be like, I'm going to jail today. If not, she won't understand like what is prison visit. So my mom is like Tamil speaking. So they have not said anything that I shouldn't be representing this person, or like why are you doing criminal work, or why are you a lawyer. There are people who, particularly relatives, like I don't really try to do relatives cases because they like to complain a lot. So relatives, there was one that I did. So she was not happy because she didn't get something. It was a Syariah case. So she didn't get something that was more of a personal claim. So she wanted to claim her gold jewelry, which is not part of the matrimonial assets. So she tried to claim for it, but the judge strictly said that this is not supposed to be here. It's a civil claim, personal claim. So that's all I can say. I can't do anything about it. Yeah, but she was not happy, so she started like bad mouthing me, saying that she went, she did this, she did that, Yeah, but
useless lah this one.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But generally, do family go to family members who are lawyers? I mean, they try to avoid. They want to hide.
Yeah, they are quite sensitive.
Yeah.
Unless they are close.
Right. Conflict of interest.
And not really a conflict of interest. I have personally seen a lot of lawyers who have represented their niece, their family member and everything. Or sometimes they don't want to get involved, so they will introduce another lawyer whom they are close with, so that they can do the case. For me personally, I'd rather do anyone else's cases other than my relatives.
Has a lawyer ever defended themselves?
Yeah. So like when
have you defended yourself?
Oh, you can, is it?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Not just a lawyer.
So you must pay yourself.
Not just a lawyer.
Anyone can actually.
You can be self-represented.
I see.
For example, even civil or non-civil matter, criminal matters, even like for a family court matter or even Syariah court matter. So you can be self-represented or you take a lawyer.
But of course, if you want to be self-represented, you must be like knowledgeable lah.
There are a lot of people who know actually what to do and everything. So it's quite surprising, but they're actually not bad. They know how to do it, but there's some who don't know how to do it. So I will feel a bit sad for them, like pity themselves, like okay, you need to file this document and all that. That's it. But of course, I won't tell them what exactly contents to put. So I'll just say that you want whatever you want to say, put it inside there. That's it. Generally, I mean, if your case is so strong, you don't need to be scared of the other party, right? Yeah.
When they represent themselves, do they wear the gown?
No, there are.
Is there a dress code? A dress code in court that you have to wear the
lawyers? Yes, white and black.
White and black.
For in person, sometimes there are people who actually come in white and black. Then after that,
then the wig, the wig. Judge.
That one is in the UK.
UK. Forgive me.
I think that one only the judges wear. I think.
I see.
In the UK, not in Singapore.
Because recently, not recently lah, sometime back, I was in a court, and then I see this lawyer nowadays very stylo, all with the full beard and all that, hair all slick back. I was like, this one lawyer, sure not?
You heard the Malay term lawyer buruk? Oh no. Malay, there's this term lah. My mom always call me that because lawyer buruk is actually someone that is very sarcastic. Is it sarcastic or what?
Yeah, that's it lah.
Yeah. So there was one point of time I was being sarcastic to my sister. I think you can ask lah. And then my mom heard and I got scolding and she called me lawyer buruk.
That's when he picked his interest lah to be a lawyer.
And then I choose this seat lah.
Okay, going back to the crux of today's episode.
Yes.
Yeah, so we want to touch on something that's probably more relevant with our listeners, the Sharia law lah. Right, so let's start with the main difference between a Sharia divorce versus a civil divorce. What are some of the main differences?
The main difference will be the wife's claims, Ida, Muta, and then hantaran, what is this, mas kawin and whatever else that you wish to claim as a wife. Whereas
hantaran also can claim.
Yeah, hantaran can claim. So basically in your marriage set, right, for example, if it is unpaid, So if you've already paid, then there's nothing like you can't claim for it unless the wife says that no, he didn't pay. Of course, you'll be lying, right? So, but as per the marriage cert, so basically they will look at the marriage cert. At the back of the marriage cert, there are certain conditions that if you all are married, you would have the Qadi or the Ustad would have read to you all, right? You all agree to this and then they'll ask you to sign. Last time they don't really sign. I think now you have to sign like an acknowledgement. So there are a few terms where you say I must maintain my wife if for more than 4 months, if I do not provide for her, she can go to court. And then if I lay my like beat her and then or make her lose self-respect and all that, and then there is I think 2 more terms lah. So if any of the conditions are breached, she can go to Sharia court. Whereas for civil case, it's more like mostly it's mutual understanding, or the marriage has basically fallen apart because of adultery, or they just can't get along anymore, or whatever other reasons lah.
Just now you mentioned about unpaid hantaran. So there's a lot of cases with unpaid hantaran.
A few. Yeah. There are a few of my clients where basically they say that, oh, this hantaran was owing to me, but they only pay me like a little bit, and then I gave back the money to him, or the full amount paid to me, but I gave the money for him to go and use for his failed business or whatever to pay off his debts. So that becomes a money that is owing to her. Yeah, so we try to claim for it as well.
What are the chances?
We almost get it.
Oh, is it?
Wait.
Okay. Wow.
But they also must prove beyond a reasonable doubt.
No, Sharia court don't have. Sharia court is different. Beyond a reasonable doubt is only for criminal cases. So civil case also is different, where you fight a claim case, you must prove beyond a balance of probabilities. So there's a different thing. Then for Sharia case, you just have to show what is your for a wife, ida muta'ah, what is this, children if there are children, and then flat if there is a flat, hantaran if it's anything owing, and then CPF monies, harta sepencarian, I think, all that. So so you need to show why are you asking this amount. So there are some cases where, you know, like if they are represented by lawyers, sometimes they will just hantam one figure, they will just put the highest figure, even though the guy is earning only about $1,000 or something, if you are acting for the wife. So, and then sometimes they do it out of spite because they just want to go all out on the husband. Never mind, he has an affair, he can pay. No money also, I'll make sure I make him pay. That kind of thing. Yeah, there are a lot of cases like that. So I sometimes, most of the time, my male clients, I pity them because of these kind of things, because the wife really goes all out. But then again, they don't know that they have their lawyer, who is me.
So in this case, like, okay, you like in that particular, I mean, based on this scenario, you will represent the wife, and usually the husband also will have his own lawyer lah.
If he wants to engage a lawyer. So if the husband is able to represent himself, like just now we spoke, right, self-represented, so he has to file his own documents. He has to come. If the case cannot settle in mediation is where it's your first chance to try and settle it. If you can't settle it, you need to file documents, everything, then go for trial.
If he has a lawyer, do you and his lawyer usually will meet and like, hey guys, it can come on, let's come to an agreement lah. Like, got do so
because
that happens also lah.
The Sharia community, the Sharia lawyers community is not too big. Everyone knows each other. So the ones who are nice will try to talk to you, and most of them are my friends. So I'll try, can we settle this matter or not? Like, why is your client asking for so much of money? Be reasonable and all that. Then there's one client of mine, she wants to have sole custody, care and control of the child because she wants to go overseas with the child. She wants to migrate. But the husband is also traveling often, but he wants joint custody. And then she has claimed for a lot of monetary claims as well, financial claims. So we tried to propose, the lawyer is my friend. So I said, hey, can you like speak to your client, like give my client sole custody, care and control, and then she'll waive off all her financial claims. That means don't claim anything.
So give and take lah.
Yeah, give and take lah, because if not, he won't agree. Or sometimes we agree on the amounts.
But got times where someone, no one, I don't want. I want to fight. Your client will sure lose one, but now you win.
God. There are, but that is usually not really a close friend. It's more like a lawyer who just
buruk lah.
Yeah.
Why you look at me?
So why I was so confused about the hantaran that can be claimed, because sometimes hantaran nowadays lah, what I've been hearing lah is that because the guy usually give the girl a hantaran inverted commas because for status reason and all that, for people's perception, public perception and all this,
social norms.
So for example, they just put 10k for example, but actually he didn't really give her 10k, and then
for sure lah.
for sure, right? And then after that it didn't work out, so she can actually claim that even though
I had a
mutually.
personal case
You have
like that. A few cases. So where the guy tells me that, hey, this amount actually we just put only for show value lah. Then I'm like, okay, but why you all put so high amount? Because the judge wants that amount to be paid. So the judge can order for that amount to be paid. If you never pay lah. So you have to pay lah.
Take note lah guys.
Yeah.
The one you put, you eventually you have to pay.
So best is to put $100.
Best don't put hantaran lah. Mas kahwin only. Wajib. Ikut Piramdi $1 je. Itu pun hutang.
Okay, so let's move on to my next question. For a divorce in Sharia law, must the husband initiate it, or can the women or the wife?
The wife also can.
Okay,
so like what I told you earlier.
And doesn't meet the condition that one.
Yes, the breach. That is called breach of taklid or fasak. So there are two things like you have to prove. So breach of taklid basically means the back of your marriage cert. If any of it is breached or not followed by the husband, for example, your husband beat you, but not like because you instigate it lah. That's a different thing. But it's still a ground if your husband beats you. And then never provide nafkah for more than 4 months. And then if it is fasak maybe adultery and all that come into play, and then like husband doesn't take care of her, or so that is the case usually where
the wife can report to Sharia court lah.
So you need to apply for it first, then you need to attend counselling, and then you file the document with Sharia court. That is the leceh part, the first one, which is, remember I said the court procedure quite difficult to file. A lot of people have difficulties filing the first set of documents with Sharia court.
Is that why sometimes they just reconcile?
There are some also. Either just reconcile, or sometimes they just stay together for the sake of the children. I have a few where they wait until the children become a little older, like maybe marriageable age, and then they divorce.
So this brings to our next question. How long does this process usually take? The
divorce?
The proceedings
it depends. So if you settle at mediation, so from the start to mediation maybe about 6 months. But if the case gets if both parties can't agree, if it gets dragged, it's another 1 year. 1 year plus minimum.
And usually it will get dragged because they don't agree on the money amount, what to give, how much to give, that kind of stuff, or the custody of the kids.
If the issues are not agreed upon. So if any of the issues not agreed, it will get postponed because we will need to prepare more documents. Affidavit.
Remember affidavit cost lah.
You went back to your earlier answer that you mentioned about the domestic abuse, and then you mentioned that the wife, or rather the husband, was instigated. So there is a difference.
Husband will file that under defense, because the court doesn't know, right, that it was instigated.
It's her word against.
So it doesn't matter actually. I mean, she can still file for divorce. Then husband can put it in his memorandum of defense. So basically, there is the case statement where wife puts in all her details, what is the grounds for divorce and everything, and then husband, if he denies it, he has to put it why. For example, she's the one who started it. Maybe she is the one who has an affair, so I question it and then I beat her, that kind of thing. So that is different. And then that goes towards your claims. So basically, he can justify to say that, never mind, I'm okay with the divorce, but I'm not willing to pay her whatever she wants.
Okay.
So all that is important.
Report, guys.
In your experience, who usually gets the custody of the children?
Below 7 years old, the children, usually the mother. And then unless, of course, mother is incapable of taking care, mother has abandoned the children, there are fathers who can take very good care of the children. And then there are mothers also who go all out to do anything for the children. So it just depends, because most of the time with the mother, even if they are older children usually the court interviews.
They have a choice, is it?
Yeah, they have a choice, or the court just calls for a third party report.
Third party report?
Third party report is like a counselling agency where they will interview the children, interview the parents, come and see their houses, which is the best environment for the children. Where
what's the age for the children to be interviewed?
Above 7.
Above 7, okay.
Because below 7, it's deemed that the children can't really make independent choice.
So below 7, even if they say I want to be with Papa,
tak pakai lah.
so no.
So maybe that's where the third party agency comes.
Mm.
So when the third party agency comes, they can assess the situation, and sometimes they can order shared care and control also. Yeah, it depends.
That's why American lost that case. Akili tum.
Okay.
Kramer versus Kramer.
Okay. Apa?
Kramer versus Kramer. That's the original lah.
Crom
Hollywood
bila
version.
Crom lah.
Okay. What happens if the nafkah isn't paid? Can they take legal action?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, once Ida is not paid, Ida, Muta'ah, or whatever, the financial claims are not paid, you can go to family court, file basically an enforcement of court order to say there's a breach of Sharia court order. So you go and file it there lah, and then family court deals with it.
Just now you mentioned 4 months, is it? How many months of nafkah not paid?
4.
No, that yang 4 months is
That
not
one is
nikah. After nikah punya ni.
Now it's automatic. Can get the wife can
divorce
report
lah.
to the Sharia court.
I see.
For the divorce. So the Ida Muta'ah is after the divorce court order.
I see.
So if after that they don't pay, there are a lot of cases where they don't pay also. So how the court work about it is also, if there is a house, it's ordered to be paid through the sale of the flat. So it's clean.
Oh, is it? Okay. Understand.
Yeah.
So, if let's say not using the house, and then they got get reported on this, never pay the nafkah, what is the so-called punishment or penalty for that?
So if basically never pay nafkah, the wife has to go to family court to apply for maintenance. So if there is no divorce, right? So apply for wife maintenance or children's maintenance in family court. And then if you don't pay after there's a court order, the wife can go and enforce the court order. So enforce and then ask for a show cause. Show cause is where the judge wants to see whether have you been paying or not. So if you don't pay or you don't turn up, there can be a warrant of arrest lah against you.
So jail lah.
It depends after that. Fine, jail. Jail is usually the worst case scenario.
Like?
Jail lah.
Example, is there any cases being jailed?
No, not really.
You
Mostly
answer
it's fine
now
lah.
becoming like me, you know.
I mean, on that note, I just want to ask: is there an instant or a case whereby a person would rather choose imprisonment or fine rather than
Payback.
Yeah.
Is there such a
Yeah.
So like a person would
I
rather
have
go to
seen
jail than
Paying the wife.
is it?
I have seen that family court.
Oi.
When we are there last time pre-COVID, we used to go to family court before these Zoom sessions all come. So now a lot of our court sessions are via Zoom. Sharia court is via WebEx, but other court is usually via Zoom. So we watch other cases. So we have seen where they don't want to pay. And then those people who are in prison, they can't pay also or remand. Yeah, so can't do anything. But that one, the judge don't order prison lah because they are already in remand anyway. They can't pay. Yeah, so it's a different thing.
Yeah, but not cool lah. You go inside prison, then people around you say, I kill people.
What are you in for?
What are you in for?
I don't want to pay my wife.
Okay, so what's the most ridiculous or petty reason someone gave for a divorce?
Oi.
No
Like
lah,
you
nothing
heard the
much lah,
reason
more-
You looking for ideas, bro?
A lot of
No lah, most
No
of them are like the same thing.
the same thing.
Yeah. Husband never give maintenance. Husband or wife or husband got affair. Most of the time it's like that. And then just there's no more love anymore. That kind of thing. Nothing interesting.
Nothing interesting. Singapore boring.
Not like the
They never
movie
consummate
lah.
marriage also.
Oh.
There was one, I have one. The marriage has not been consummated.
And
Who
who filed for
Wait,
divorce?
For how long?
The husband.
The husband. Okay.
How long? For 1 year.
Oi.
Yeah, but I think the guy was never interested in the girl. Yeah, but
Wait.
the girl is from India lah.
And he not interested. And then the guy not interested. And the guy initiate the divorce.
Yeah.
This one, the guy go jail better.
Okay. So do you have any advice for couples who are thinking about a divorce but not there yet? Like, what are the things that they need to take note of?
Thinking of a divorce but not there yet. First thing is, if you can, reconcile. For the sake of the children at least. And I am sure that there is a reason to patch back because there was a reason for you all to fall in love. So if it can be patched back, just patch back. If really cannot, like the love is no more there already, then I would encourage clients to just file for divorce and end it amicably.
Contact her lah.
There was like
no lah. My soalan is out of this Syariah thingy. I just want to ask if is there any law? What are the conflicts between lawyers or maybe like lawyers politics? Like for example, like this lawyer spoil market lah and something like that. Or there's no politics at all between lawyers.
Of course there is.
Of course there is. Right?
There is a lot amongst like what I say about criminal lawyers lah, mostly because how much you charge. So I'm very sure there are talks about me charging very little among lawyers, but of course it's helping the accused persons. But because I only charge a fraction, right? So their fees is like times 3 of what I'm charging, times 3, times 4, the starting. So a lot of them
don't like you. Don't like you lah because you spoil market.
Yeah lah.
I've seen because I was out of action from criminal law for about 6 years. I did Sharia work mainly only for 6 years. Then when I started 4 years I did criminal work, about 3 years. Then after that I did Sharia. Then I came back to do criminal and Sharia for my own satisfaction. So when I came back, they were like, "Oh, you are back." And I'm like, "Yeah, so." And then they will give like a few of the senior lawyers. I've taken cases over from them, so you can actually kind of see that they're not happy. And then there are some lawyers that they know that they can refer a case to me, but they don't refer it to me. Like they rather refer it to another man, or some other person that they think that will be okay and listen to them. I don't know whether it's being biased because lady criminal lawyer. Don't know whether they will be happy about that, but my clients are okay. Like I kind of get, I try my best to get what they want, but of course they cannot ask for unreasonable things. My cases mostly that a fraction, I told you that I'm charging lesser, right? It's usually for PG cases. PG is plead guilty cases. So if you want to claim trial and all and waste time and all that, that's different thing lah. I won't give a discount. So but those who are genuine, just want to finish their case but they just need some assistance to get a good offer and then accept and go in and finish it faster, I usually help them at a much lower price. So there are people who I know they are spreading word for sure that there is these 2 lawyers who are quite popular among inmates and everything. So there's unhappiness there.
Going back to Sharia law and divorce cases, why do you think there's a high rate of divorces amongst the Malay Muslim community?
Sharia court? I don't know. I mean, I'm Indian Muslim, but what I see in court is mainly Malays who come. I mean, it's sad, but mostly Malays are the ones who come for Sharia divorce. The Indian Muslims, maybe they are quite reluctant to come forward. I think so because I can see that they are quite reluctant to talk about their unhappiness in their marriage. They just stay put in it. Whereas the Malays they are more outgoing. They are not like before, I guess, like kampung back then and all that, where they just keep quiet and just stay in the marriage until you die or your husband dies or your wife dies. Now it's just different. It's just that why should I stay in a marriage? I don't care whether I have kids or not. I can always find another partner. So sometimes they don't think about their children, but sometimes they genuinely, the wife or the husband genuinely think about the children, like let's work it out and everything, but they still don't. When the other party is stubborn or adamant in proceeding with the divorce, the other party can't do anything. The maximum or the best I can do is drag it all the way until Hakam stage, where I have actually personally gotten some people to reconcile. So it's quite good in the case that where all papers are filed, but then the wife decides to give the husband about 6 months, try to work it out. But then if you do something during the 6 months, then it's your fault lah. Because we already tried. There is one guy who did that. He had an affair, I think multiple affairs. So the wife caught him many times and then filed for divorce and everything. And then at the end, I tried to speak to my friend, the other lawyer. So I said, just give them some chance lah. Let them talk about it. The guy is, he really loves his children and everything. So they talked and everything. They decided to give it 6 months. But then
He cheat again.
Yeah.
Oi.
So she filed for divorce again. Yeah.
Old habits die hard. So I mean, what you were sharing or your answer just now, from the sentiment I'm getting is that the Malay women are getting more educated, or rather they are going out to work more. And I'm not sure if you're aware, this was probably last year. There was a big hoo-ha in where a lawyer actually put it on his social media, and he started lamenting, started complaining lah. Say, you know, Malay women, you all should choose your partners wisely. You know, they need to be the same education level as you, etc. Do you know who I'm talking about? No? Okay. You all know who I'm talking about. Yeah. So there is some truth to what that person is saying based on what she's saying, right? I mean, do you all feel that way?
That one want to talk about that can be a different. on talking about the divorce part, right? Just have some question I want to ask. If a husband say or drop like jatuh talak via like WhatsApp, is it considered valid?
Yes, I have done cases where talak that's called written talak.
Oh, written.
Yeah, so you can pronounce talak via WhatsApp.
But can.
Yeah,
but if they salah spell, typo error,
then amend it and do properly. Yeah, so usually, but the court will ask for a screenshot or something to see whether talak has been pronounced. For example, where the husband doesn't turn up for court, even after pronouncing talak, so the wife has to prove this. So there are various ways as well. So like what I told you for breach of taklik and everything, right? So the wife has to bring 2 male witnesses to court to basically support her divorce.
Okay, so it's not just that straightforward lah. You need to have witnesses. You must
it's
really
quite a procedure. But sometimes most of them, the those unrepresented persons, they can't go through this. They really have to deal with emotionally they have to deal with it. So when they have to deal with all the paperwork and legal aspect, they can't deal with it. So that's why they go to lawyers sometimes.
Okay.
So you ask the next question.
Okay. If let's say, okay, just now we discussed about for children, if below 7 automatically goes to the mother unless the mom is not capable or she lets go, doesn't want. If let's say it's a cheating case, does it affect the chances of either party to get custody of the children?
Like adultery?
Yeah.
There are cases where even where the mother commits adultery, the children have gone to her. So it really depends. Even though she commits adultery, it depends how she cares for the children.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, you can be a cheater for all we know, but then if she really cares for the children and everything, it's a different thing. Yeah.
Okay.
But you can use it as a factor to show to the court that she is not leading a proper life for the children, not showing the correct path. Yeah. So all that same for the men as well. Can use these reasons as well, because most of the time it's not that the husband will say, okay, never mind, you just take the care and control. The husband also challenges. Yeah.
What's the type of evidence for adultery?
Evidence for adultery.
Seriously. Yeah, I wonder.
In court, is it?
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who put pictures. So basically, they have put in naked pictures, whatever. There was one that I had. The husband caught the wife in the shower with another guy.
Ui.
And then he took a photo.
Ui.
Yeah. So there are a lot of things. Then in the car, mostly pictures lah. Like they
hire PI lah.
The PI is usually them and a family member.
Self-represented.
PI lah. So not only lawyer can self-represent lah. I pun boleh.
Okay. Alright.
So do you need a lawyer to file for divorce in Syariah court?
It's easier.
It's easier.
Yeah, but you can do it yourself if you can follow the process.
Yeah.
This was the portal that you're talking about just now. Okay.
So it's like buying a house with agent or without agent lah.
Ui.
Right.
Can
in a way.
So if you all want to buy and sell house, make sure you use agent lah.
Agent, yeah.
And double make sure you use SPS Realtors. Contact Syariah Nias.
Yes.
8688
Just a few more questions lah.
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Okay. If the wife, no, I think this one is already asked lah. If the husband refuses to give talak, the wife is stuck in the marriage forever.
No. Yeah, that's where I said, remember about, okay, so for example, if the husband files for divorce but he doesn't want to pronounce talak, that's where you can go for hakam. So right at the end where you go for hearing, so husband will say that, no, I'm not prepared to pronounce talak. So the hakam comes in place. So there's a hakam appointed for the husband and for the wife. And then that's where some discussion happens and everything. They'll be like, do you want to give your wife permission to pronounce talak on herself and everything? So there's a few methods. So the husband need not necessarily pronounce it himself.
So at the end of the procedure, still the husband don't have to mention.
So he can either pronounce or give his powers to the hakam to pronounce, or let his wife pronounce on herself. Talak tafwid.
Okay.
That's called talak taufik.
Talak tafwid.
Tafwid. So that means that is when the
husband gives the permission to the wife to pronounce talak on herself.
Okay.
So if a marriage is actually solemnized overseas, do they still need to
not necessarily to register in Singapore, right? Not necessarily. I have clients who have married in foreign marriages, then come to Singapore, they don't register. If you register also can, but I don't know whether ROMM will recommend it. You can check with ROMM lah. Because as one of my clients who told me recently, they said that ROMM said that no need, so they did not register in Singapore. As long as you can show that the marriage was a Muslim marriage, maybe it happened in a mosque or something, like to show that there were witnesses and it was as per Islam law, I think it's okay. Because when you file for divorce, the court actually asks. So if it is not registered with ROMM, they would expect you to explain in your affidavit how was it a Muslim marriage. Yeah, so they will ask who was the wali, who was the witnesses and all that.
This may be, you may not be the best person to answer this question, but I'm just trying my luck. Let's say a husband and a wife, they were in a room and the husband say, I talak you. Talak. So a few months down the road, so the wife thinking, okay lah, talak already, right? Finish already, right? Then, they still continue, but they never apply for a divorce by law, right? Is it considered? So after that, they were dating and all that, and they were living together. Is it considered they're committing a sin?
I have cases like that also. Basically, what happens is if husband pronounced talak already, but neither party registered it with Sharia court, and they never re-register their marriage because it's talak pronounced, right?
Yeah.
So if they don't re-register, they just continue. Means it's like as if you are living as a husband or wife. Yeah. So it is deemed that you are living together as your husband or wife.
But that is for
legally lah.
Islamically,
I think you have to
check
go and register. Usually ustad will say, did you have the intention to pronounce the talak or not? Usually the judges are all mostly ustads in Sharia court, so that's why I learned. So usually they will ask like, did you have the intention to pronounce the talak? If you don't have the intention to pronounce the talak and you continue living, like most of them, even after pronouncing talak, they will have like intimate relationship with the wife and everything. So it's considered that
valid lah.
Yeah.
On that note, we shall take a break, and we'll come back on another episode with Mumtaj. This time around, we'll ask a bit more about law in general lah.
Law and order lah.
Law and order.
general law lah. L'Oreal. Alright, hingga kita bertemu lagi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.